Tzu Chi volunteers visited Wushan County to help those affected by the recent floods. Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers provided food supplies for drivers to help them through economical difficulties. Welcome to Dai Headlines. I'm Joyce Ho. Thank you for joining us. In July this year, the collapse of Huang Lake's embankment in China led to the flooding of Wushan County in Jiangxi. Tzu Chi volunteers prepared relief aids for distribution to more than 3,000 affected families.
我们不远千里万里来到这里，那带着一份全球慈济人满满的爱。 和我们的乡亲结一份好缘。
We distribute supplies using this roster. We will distribute according to the order of the villages. Things will get better. The situation will improve.
Fortunately, you have come. You're very kind to me, or else I would not be able to carry on.
Thank you for receiving my help. In the future, you can say this is a condition. You can help other people. By smiling at other people, you are also helping them. It is the same.
Tzu Chi volunteers had come here 22 years ago. Back then, many of you here might have also witnessed the flood.
I saw the banner of Tzu Chi Foundation. When I went to high school, our school was also called Tzu Chi High School. I went to school there to pass down the spirit of my alma mater. I should spread love. This way, more people in need can receive the needed care.
Tzu Chi High School, which was inaugurated in 1995, is still an important farming village school in Jiangxi.
In 1994, a tornado damaged many houses here. Because of this disaster, the veterans in Taiwan sought help from Tzu Chi, hoping the affected residents can receive help.
As Tzu Chi volunteers help the flood-affected residents, they have proven that love transcends great boundaries and distances.
In the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers are promoting righteous faith throughout communities in Taiwan. 2 blessing ceremonies were held in Da'an and Dazi districts in Taipei City, advocating a new definition of Purdue traditions.
To promote vegetarianism in the auspicious month, Tzu Chi volunteers hosted a promotional activity at 7 o'clock in the morning in a park, where the elderly gathered together to do morning exercise.
Because of the pandemic, we also agree with the master's teaching that the fastest way to eliminate the pandemic now is to adopt a vegetarian diet.
The activities were both dynamic and static. After doing the fitness exercise, they prayed piously together, followed by a vegetarian buffet.
In the past few years, we provided vegetarian food for all the dining activities we hosted, so our residents are used to it.
Compassion has no enemies. Not killing lives is actually an expression of compassion. This is everyone's responsibility as people on earth to contribute with actions.
While the classic old songs motivated the silver-haired people to become more active, other residents were busy tasting different ingenious vegetarian dishes on the table.
I've never seen such a cozy decoration, and Tzu Chi volunteers have prepared some vegetarian food to advocate vegetarianism. In fact, global warming is very serious now. Going meatless can indeed save the planet.
I totally agree with Tzu Chi's concept of vegetarianism. I saw the recipe they made today. I'll follow their recipe and try to cook it when I go home.
The Tzu Chi Auspicious Month blessing ceremony always upholds the spiritual health of the people in the community, which is different from the traditional Pudu festival.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for making everyone feel auspicious in the 7th lunar month. Remember to come and join again next year.
Due to problems in communication and sensitivity to sounds, dental exams and treatments can be very difficult for those with autism. However, dentist Huang has a special touch with autistic patients.
看一下好不好？哎呀，还是不行哦。借我们看一下。
17-year-old Bing Liang suffers from severe autism. For 10 years, Dr. Huang Wenguo has been the only dentist he trusts.
不错，你有点头对不对？
像在这里。
跟刷牙一样。
哇，你好棒！
以前我们就是。
Before we went to dentist near the school, we paid and my son is on a dental chair, but he expresses fear and nervousness, and the dentist said they cannot treat him.
医生就摇摇头说没法看。
For almost a year, he started to be more comfortable in the dental chair. From touching the pillar near the wall, I let him play every week.
People who are mentally challenged in their youth must rely on family members to brush their teeth. Therefore, it is hard to maintain oral hygiene, but dentist Huang Wenguo insists on proper care and not just extraction. People who are mentally challenged in their youth must rely on family members to brush their teeth. Therefore, it is hard to maintain oral hygiene, but dentist Huang Wenguo insists on proper care and not just extraction.
哦，就站太久了，所以就静脉曲张感染了，所以现在治疗中。
Having suffered from brain injuries for years, Ria Shen had tooth pain last year and went to the dentist. He was found to have severe cavities and was put under general anesthesia. The operation was around 10 hours, and his teeth were repaired one by one. Every Thursday is the weekly operation time held by Huang Wenguo, the day of Bing Liang's root canal treatment.
如果我可以把30次以上。
If I can save 30 treatment times, I will consider that option and finish the task, reducing his tooth decay time. I can also shorten the infection problems quickly. Anesthesia can only protect the patient's safety. Although it isn't 100% safe, in this area it's tough to persuade their parents.
所以这块你要说服家长是不容易。
Usually, Huang Wenguo will repair all the teeth at once, while the patient is under general anesthesia.
When he lies down and we perform the surgery, it's actually hard to manage. His teeth have an extra layer compared to others.
每颗牙齿都比他多一只脚。明亮，找妈妈了。1、2、3，哎，你小心小心小心，线今天算早。
大概最晚到几点？
11点半。
明亮起床，不能每次这样都这样睡，马上都得了。
哎，妈妈，不，来那边，很好笑，还在打呼。
Not many people have the time and effort to establish a relationship with him, but Dr. Huang is willing to do so, treating my son as a friend. Now, when we see him, my son tells me we're not going to a doctor, but finding an old friend. When we have the chance, we can also help others receive such opportunity. Dr. Huang really is our benefactor.
我看一下好不好？我们也就会帮这些人洗啊，看牙齿。其实这条就是我们的恩人。
For the auspicious 7th lunar month, Indonesian Tzu Chi volunteers offer vegetarian meal boxes to members of the public to promote vegetarianism. 3,400 meal boxes were ordered within 1 week in Batam for their high economical and nutritional values.
There are many orders for the vegetarian meal boxes. The kitchen volunteers started preparing since 6 o'clock in the morning, just to make sure that all of the meal boxes are served to the public at noon.
We had a pre-order for the meal boxes before the activity. After that, we began to cook the vegetarian meal boxes for a week. To be honest, it's a challenge for the volunteers as they all have their own work to do too.
A vegetarian meal boxes cost only 20 NTD, but it's high in nutritional value and also very clean.
After collecting the milk boxes back, we'll check to see if it is greasy. If it is, we'll wash it again. Due to the pandemic, we need to be very diligent about hygiene.
Volunteers from all over Indonesia have invited the public to order the vegetarian meal boxes. The local cuisine in Medan, which is the vegetarian prawn noodles, tastes just as good, prompting more people to adopt a vegetarian diet.
We open up for the public to order vegetarian meal boxes so that we can all protect the earth together, adopting a vegetarian diet to make this world free from disasters.
I feel more energized after eating it. Every day after work, I'm able to see Tzu Chi's vegetarian meal boxes at my house. My kid also calls me at noon and asks whether I can go to the Tzu Chi office to collect the meal boxes. She has been even more enthusiastic than I am.
During the auspicious month, the activity for ordering meal boxes is limited. However, the delicious food has inspired the thought of adopting a vegetarian diet, continuing it for life.
Jeepney and tricycle businesses in the Philippines relies heavily on the tourism industry. Due to the pandemic, tourist numbers declined, leading to difficulties in the drivers' livelihood. Tzu Chi volunteers continually provide the food supplies to help the drivers and their families.
Buong buhay ko, ngayon lang kami nagkaroon ng ganito. Mag-sidecar lang po kami. Nakaginawa kami na maraming salamat po sa Tzu Chi.
During the pandemic, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines are aiding jeepney and tricycle drivers, giving them proper supplies. The aiding project had come to its mid-period.
Tzu Chi is the earliest to give us supplies in Barrack and Tatalong. Especially the distribution of rice had lessened our burdens. Looking at all these price gouging on products recently, this is why I'm very thankful to you.
Julius Paduan carries the rice and life supplies home, as these supplies can last them for days. But looking at his current income, it is still tough for them even with the supplies.
Although the government allows us to do business again, there are less passengers nowadays. A lucky day I could earn $4, but most days I only earn $2 to $3.
In order to help with the family's economic situation, Julius had to kneel down to reality most of the time. Gladly, Tzu Chi came in, giving proper care and aid to the household.
Including jeepney drivers, our hardships have been relieved. But because of their reduced income this past month, with these supplies, I don't have to worry about that and focus on fixing new jeepney cars.
With the heart of giving back to society, this driver becomes the role model for locals, as he donated all his coins saved daily for a better cause.
I think that there are more people who need help compared to others. I'm lucky because I still have a part-time job.
No matter the challenges they face in the future, no one would forget this moment of love as they stand strong together, overcoming difficulties.
Following the 2010 floods in Shunchang, Fujian, and China, Tzu Chi built Shangfeng Da'ai village for the affected residents. Tzu Chi volunteers recently gathered from 4 districts of Fujian to visit the Da'ai villages, promoting environmental awareness at the same time.
In the community, we also fulfill our responsibilities. We pick up plastic bags, milk cartons, and garbage from the garden. We pick up all of them. Protecting the environment is very good. It is really good. The earth has been polluted. We know that.
This village commissioner returns home to organize the recyclables he collected. He has also brought his bamboo coin bank. Tzu Chi volunteers from Xiamen, Fuding, Putian, and Fuzhou have gone to Shunchang County to promote recycling. The children who cannot sit still are also learning the mnemonic phrase for recycling. However, the little boy refused to practice recycling. Then his peers try to inspire him.
Do you want to do recycling with him? Yes, you really want to. When you said you want to do recycling, they want to do it with you.
As city volunteers prepare the sorting boxes, the little boy Chen Daoming begins to sort recyclables, making 3 trips. Shangfeng Dai villagers who were affected by floods in 2010 continue to follow city volunteers and do recycling.
We do not want this bonding to fade away. Instead, we hope the friendship lasts, so it is best that people join us to do recycling.
Sichuan Tzu Chi volunteer Wang started promoting recycling in her community in 2015. 5 years onward, many local residents have joined the ranks. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers invited the recycling team to make dumplings together, promoting vegetarianism and deepening their bonds for environmental protection.
Looking at the cell phone and reviewing old photos from the early days, these volunteers have recorded 5 years of doing recycling.
In fact, I was just honing my beliefs. Later, we had more and more people, and my beliefs become more and more firm. I became more and more happy doing recycling.
In 2015, Tzu Chi volunteer Huang began promoting recycling in her community, but did not expect others to respond. Now these mothers are experts in recycling. Volunteers also took the opportunity to organize gatherings to promote vegetarianism.
They are all relatively old. The eldest is 84 years old and are able to gather like a family, getting closer to each other. So we thought about coming together to make dumplings and recommend more vegetarian dishes to them.
You just wish to be vegetarian on Monday, okay? Then I will write you down that you will do it for 1 day. Until remember, when you are vegetarian, you are accumulating blessings for your family, okay?
Regardless of whether you are vegetarian or doing recycling, these actions undertaken by the individual can be a centripetal force influencing neighbors to be more committed to recycling and environmental protection.
Malaysia's Tzu Chi volunteer Fan Pingying is hearing impaired. However, she's not only a regular recycling volunteer, but is also devoted to kitchen work and the collection of donations with the utmost warmth and sincerity.
Han Pingying, who lives in a silent world, is committed to environmental protection, but is determined and diligent.
She's very hardworking. She wipes the floor, sweeps the floor, and cleans the windows. Sometimes she finishes them at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Han Pingying can weave eco-friendly bags and also goes to kitchen to help. In Ganningyang Tzu Chi recycling station, she prepares 2 meals a day. She always has a smile on her face and forms good relationships with others.
She collects donations, cooks, and distributes meals. She took up a lot of duties.
She likes to make good connection with others, so she meets Tzu Chi members and collects donations personally. She's very happy to walk around.
She's very sincere. She'll hug me and tell me she's very grateful.
Despite silence in Han Pingying's world, her life is more beautiful and full of compassion.
Wushan Island is one of Taiwan's outlying islands, which is rich in ecology and scenery. Although all of its original residents relocated to Yilan 46 years ago, they're still keeping up with the island's traditions today and live in harmony with the island.
Since 1800, residents of Taiwan and Fujian province in China have migrated to Wushan Island. In the early days of Wushan Island, traffic was inconvenient as local residents took local materials such as these stones and pebbles and piled them up to form a wall. However, the structure is loose and the roof is usually made of thatch. Therefore, under heavy typhoon rain, these roofs were often blown down. So this type of reinforced concrete buildings were later developed. Before the residents of Wushan Island collectively moved their villages to the main island of Taiwan, there are up to 106 buildings here, but now only 4 have been preserved.
99% of residents of Wushan Island make a living by fishing. You can see that this big fish hook catches deep sea fish.
Jiangxi, 69, was born and raised on Wushan Island.
In 1974, I had just retired from the army and moved to the main island of Taiwan with all the residents of Wushan Island.
This location is Wushan Village in Yilan's Tocheng. There are more than 960 residents here. They all emigrated from Wushan Island 46 years ago. Although they took root here, most of the residents still have a strong sense of their hometown in Wushan Island.
People from Wushan Village community, we all work together to prepare for the establishment of a Wushan Island Fishing Village Cultural Center, so that the history and culture of Wushan Island, as well as skills, can be passed on.
Having lived on the main island of Taiwan for 46 years, Jian Yingjun still makes a living by fishing. His children and grandchildren also inherit this trade.
I have 2 fishing boats. My third son and the older son each operate a fishing boat.
This is the Daxi fishing port in Tocheng, Yilan. Looking around, there are all fishing boats. More than 98% of the fishing boats in the area belong to the residents of Wushan Village because the residents there all fish for a living.
My son is married, and I have a grandson. We have 4 generations under one roof.
The 92-year-old great-grandmother is surrounded by her children and grandchildren, sharing in this close family relationship, but she thinks of the days when she lived on Wushan Island.
I think living on Wushan Island is very good. I often felt reluctant to leave and come live here.
The love for Wushan Island has spread from the islanders. Although there are no residents on the island, there is still a group of people who go to the island every day.
I arrive at Yilan Dali Station at 7 o'clock in the morning and prepare today's schedule. I've been serving here for 36.5 years. I started serving Wushan Island from 2000 when it was open, so this year it is exactly the 20th anniversary.
As a law enforcement officer, Shu is recognized as the person in charge of Wushan Island. As usual, he sets off every day by boat.
I also have a small boat license. In case of an emergency, we can assist the captain. The small rocks that fell, we can clear on the spot. This is the first thing that we do. Coming every day, we will first do a check of the area, including the tunnels to check for snakes, and then a check of the lighting. If a bulb is damaged, we will replace it immediately.
Before the island is open every day, our staff will do a patrol, so when the first boat of tourists come, it will be very clean. The last boat returning to Taiwan is a group of grassroots colleagues, which allows Wushan Island to develop sustainably.
Regardless of wind, rain, or extreme cold, this group of special people insist on protecting this unique island.
The most troublesome part is taking a boat every day, as conditions can be different and difficult. Some tourists have responded to our work in regulating the island and support our frontline management, which gives us some encouragement.
While the beauty of Wushan Island is breathtaking, some believe that the most beautiful part of Taiwan is still the people.
USA Tzu Chi Medical Foundation provided vegetarian meal boxes alongside PPE donations to frontline medical workers. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.